Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and oh boy, it seems as though today pigs are flying because some news has just been released by Atlus. Turns out that Persona 4 Golden is going to be ported to Steam. Holy shit! If you don't know the relevance of Persona being ported to a different console other than PlayStation, I'll spell it out for you. Very simply put, Persona has always been on PlayStation. It has never been on anything else, maybe other than the Q games. Persona Q 1 and 2 were both on the DS, and they were okay, they were fine, they weren't bad, but they sure as hell weren't to the caliber of almost every other Persona game. Now, 4 Golden was a game that was on the Vita. It was on the PlayStation Vita, and it has never been on any other console. Basically, if you're getting a Vita nowadays, even in the last 5 years, you've been getting it for P4 Golden. That is the only reason people are really getting the Vita, and I don't blame them, because it's a really fucking good game. And now, there's an official listing on Steam. It's crazy. Like, honestly, for the last 25 years they've been stuck on PlayStation. The only reason I bought my PS4 was for 5 Royal, right? That's the only... Granted, I'm very glad that I got my PlayStation, because it's just so objectively better than the Xbox One. Like, but, you know, console wars is fucking gay, who gives a shit? What you're really here for is what that's gonna mean for Atlus, because Persona, as I've said multiple times already, has always been on the PlayStation. And Sony must have been doing a license with them, holding it exclusively on that platform, because as soon as things like Horizon Zero Dawn or Death Stranding get put onto Steam, well, granted Death Stranding isn't necessarily a PlayStation exclusive because it's a brand new company, we don't know, but as soon as they started to come out, now old Persona games are coming out. So I'm assuming that there was at least a license that Sony had over it. I know that Atlus doesn't work exclusively for Sony because they're Shin Megami Tensei games. They're making Shin Megami Tensei 5 and that's coming out on the Switch and nothing else. That's all it's coming out for. So clearly they're not stuck exclusively working on them, and they've brought out tons of other games. Catherine was on Xbox, Steam, it was on the PlayStation, and I think Full Body's on the Switch as well. I'm pretty sure it is. There are tons of games by Atlus. But now that that's coming out on Steam, the question that everyone's had for so long, Persona 5 on Switch, is that gonna happen? And let me tell you guys, I think I know why it isn't going to happen. That's it, folks. It's not happening. I don't believe that we're gonna get P5 on Switch, and I'm not baiting you out going, because we're gonna get Royal on Switch. No, we might get these things on Switch, but not now. There's a reason why they haven't done it already, right? And not because of the licensing issue, because, well, actually that might be it now that I think about it, because if there wasn't something with licensing, then they would have just done it already, probably. But now that they're putting it to Steam, it seems more likely that there was a license that Sony had of the games. So who knows? Maybe we'll find out more about that as time goes on. But currently, all I know is that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming out on the Switch. And holy shit, Shin Megami Tensei underperforms so much compared to Persona. Even P4, which was incredibly lackluster compared to P5, blew almost every single Shin Megami Tensei game out of the water, even though if you've played a Shin Megami Tensei game, you know that the writing is just way better. If you played SMT3 Nocturne, you'd know that for a fact. If you played SMT4, could I get a copy of that? Because I'm not paying fucking 25 quid for a 7-year-old game. Fuck that, kiss my balls, I'm not doing it. Anyway, so yeah, the point is, Shin Megami Tensei is what they are focusing on the Switch. And until that comes out, which I assume isn't going to be for another few years because of how terrible they are at making games, apparently, that it takes them a decade to make a video game. Until that comes out, there is no way Persona 5 is coming to the Switch. I know Scramble is. I know Scramble's coming, and everyone thinks, oh, if we buy Scramble, then it's going to come out. Not necessarily. That, I believe, is why they are porting Persona 4 Golden. They are doing that rather than Persona 5 because they'll test the water, see if people buy that. You know, it'd be really easy. I don't think it's going to be a full remaster. They haven't revealed anything. I think it's probably just going to be a port with a few modernizations added to it. What I think it'll be is just the same game, you know? It's just going to be the same thing that was on the Vita, but it's on your computer now. And if they get a ton of sales there, then they'll probably, eventually port Persona 5 to PC. And then after that, they might consider porting, I don't know, 3, what's the remake of 3? That, whatever it was called, Fez, I think. Yeah, 3 Fez. They'd probably port that to the Switch, and then maybe 4 Golden to the Switch. But I'm not sure about P5 until Shin Megami Tensei 5 is out. Because I know for a fact that if Persona 5 came out, even within like a year or two span of Shin Megami Tensei 5, that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is going to fail. Because no one's going to be paying attention to it, right? You would need that Nintendo market to get used to Persona 5 and Persona 4 and 3 before they would even consider Shin Megami Tensei 5. They wouldn't pay any attention towards that game. It wouldn't make a difference. You would just need to wait for it because everyone would be so caught up in playing the Persona games. You get what I mean? I don't think you do. Point is, I've made my point. The video doesn't need to be 10 minutes. Okay, Persona 5 probably isn't going to come to the Switch anytime soon, even if 4 Golden is. Don't get your fucking hopes up. I know you want it. I want it too. Everyone wants it. But we're not gonna get it. Persona 5 isn't coming to the Switch anytime soon. I understand why you all want it to come to the Switch, but it won't. It's not gonna happen. You guys need to start accepting that sooner than later, preferably, because it's just not coming. We're just not gonna get it. We just need to accept that, because that's life, folks. That's what Murray said before, you know. Before fucking Joaquin Phoenix shot his fucking brains out. I forgot to mention, all prevalent information towards this game is going to be released at the weekend. It's going to be released on a press conference that Atlus is holding on behalf of Sony or whatever the fuck. They're going to be talking about P4 Golden and everything about it. What, if it's a remaster, if it's just a port. And they've got some other stuff that apparently they're going to be talking about, but that is what everyone's going to be focusing on. Anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. Goodbye. I still don't know how to end a video.